Okay, so what was I talking with you about, JP? You're talking about something. Oh, you never received the testing documentation from Gautam?
No, sir.
See, he should have sent it to you. Okay, let's see. Contribute. Oh my gosh. He sent me such a long, difficult to read message instead of a couple of easy links. Let's see what this looks like when I send it to you. Oh man. Okay. Some of it worked. And then he also sent me this test report. Let me send that to you. Well, I told him to send it to you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Okay, so now you just have that stuff, JP, if you want to look through some of that. We'll have to get Gautam on the call so he can explain what he did exactly.
Okay.
Let's put this away. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the changes we had with Scrum and whatnot. So this is definitely old news, but I wanted to make sure that I keep reiterating it even up until Ernest gets back, I suppose. But just what Adrian had to say, the website's up and running on the regular domain with bug fixes and small viewport responsiveness. If you made a PR request in the last week, please fetch and rebase your branches, resolve conflicts if necessary, and then push your commits again. So just make sure to keep up to date on that. I'm not sure if anybody here is behind Adrian, or is everybody here caught up for the most part?
I thought we were, but I think me, Jomar, and Maxim need to talk afterwards because there's some conflicts that are going on with his pushes from yesterday. So, and it might like delete some stuff. So just a heads up, Jomar and Maxim. We should talk afterwards.
Okay. Let's get Maxim back in here real quick. He just popped in and then dropped out. There he is. Okay. Yeah, so Maxim, there's some conflicts. Can you hear us?
Yes, now I hear you.
Yep, conflicts. So you, Jomar, and Adrian will have a little chat after this just to resolve those. I have a chat with Imam after this. So anybody else needs to set something up, remember to do that. Definitely a big thing I wanted to tell everybody about. Well, two big things. There's no TernKey backend, and there's no Arch backend, and there's no website backend. It's all one thing, just the backend. So nice and simple, just the backend. And the Kerman had a root file a root folder formatting repository that was just there as an example. That was deleted, and there was a then there was the Arch backend repository. That's been deleted because that was merged in the backend. And then this backend was called TernKey backend, but it was renamed just to be the backend. So we have only 9 repositories now, which is the least we've had in a long time. This is like a home page for the organization. This is a home page, but it's private. And then obviously we just have our languages, Arch, TernKey, backend, and the website. So repositories got cleaned up a little bit there. And the other really important change that I wanted to show is that we're not able to use Notion right now because Notion is way too expensive just to hold on to documentation. And Manan found a perfect alternative for Notion. So we're in Arch or we're in TernKey. I'm not sure if the TernKey one's up yet, but I know Arch is up. And then we go into Wiki up here. Oh, why isn't it showing it here? Oh, is it in the website? It shows up in the website. If I'm in the website repo.
Oh, it's in the backend.
Oh, yep. Okay, so the backend repository, because we need API documentation. Here's the wiki, Arch API documentation, TernKey API documentation. So then we have our beautifully built, very detailed API documentation for all of our APIs. And so there's 10 total for Arch, got about half of them done. So Manan will update the rest of those. And then we'll have the same thing going on for TernKey, which is obviously a lot more. So working on it. So this is where we're going to put that API documentation for now. And we'll probably use it for some other general documentation as well. That's that update. How's all the automated stuff that you wanted to implement, Adrian? Do we need Kerman in here at all to discuss anything, or?
No. I was just gonna say something about that to the group today when I had the minute. I implemented an npm run build in the pre-push Husky file, including there's what else did I put in that Husky file? Let me just make sure I got it right. Including merging into develop if there's any conflicts. So when you guys, when you do a git push, it'll automatically do an npm run build on the repository that local you have, and then it'll see if it has any errors, and if there's any errors, it will ask you to resolve them locally. So just a heads up, everyone.
Okay, sounds good. So we have even more. We're getting more and more pushback from the develop branch itself, so that we waste less and less time fixing things, sending out pull requests, thinking that they're good to go when really it's inevitable that they're going to be sent back. They should only really start getting sent back in special cases or in like weird conflicts that GitHub wasn't able to really pick up on and stuff like that. That way we can have a higher quality output because we're able to dig in and take more consideration when we're checking these things. Right now, Adrian's just basically checking if there's red, and when there's red, he just has to send it right back. But now we can check and really make sure that things are following conventions even. Okay, so that's wrapping up most of the new stuff, some of the changes that everybody wanted to make sure everybody knew about and was aware of. Well, let's just go down the line now. So JP, what's your update? What have you done over, since, what have you done over the past few days, and what are you planning on getting into today?
So earlier I was trying to check what Adrian's mentioned about the ASCII errors from my previous pull request, and I'm still trying to figure out what method should I use to make it true to the um phone number authentication. Just what I've mentioned a few days back. Uh, yeah, it's I'm having a problem with the like nested editables component. Uh, yeah.
Okay. And that's on the turnkey integration. Manon, when
Yeah.
do you feel like you'll have more of the API documentation up for turnkey and, well, for turnkey? Yeah.
Both for the TernKey and Arch or just on for the TernKey?
Just for turnkey.
Uh, might be Jan second week.
Okay. Well, can you at least make sure that you populate what you do have? So
Okay.
we can at least slowly add to it. And if somebody like JP really needs help on one, you can just upload that single API so at least he can refer to it. And we can just update the turnkey API documentation on a needed basis. And then we can do like actually wrap in all the other stuff down the line.
Okay.
All right. Sangeet, how about you? What you done over the past, holiday week, and what are
Uh,
you getting into today?
yeah. So I was just working on my all of my this Figma model. So I had some issues, not actually issues, but there were some differences from the things that I'm just getting from the back end and right now what is in the front end. So I just had a call with Manan and Maxim yesterday to just figure it all out. So we just agreed upon doing some kind of things, some kind of tweaks in the front end, just to accommodate with the content which is actually coming from the back end.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be just making some slight differences from the backend as as needed. And yeah, that's what actually I'm thinking, concentrating on doing today.
Great.
Maxim, do you want to add something to this? Do you want to explain what was the problem?
What about your changes yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
It was related to background, as I understand.
Okay, all right.
I just need to update the type that backend
Yeah.
sent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's any significant changes that would affect other programmers, or you feel Adrian should know to prepare for, please make sure to disclose that so we're all aware of the changes to the back end.
I don't think there will be a significant change over there. Manan, you said the benefits details should be come from the backend, right?
Yeah.
But is it affect every other things? No, I guess.
No.
No,
Do
no.
not affect any other
It will not affect any other functions. Yep.
Okay. Great. Thanks for that. And Jomar, how about yourself? What have you worked on last, and what are we working on today?
So earlier I worked on the build errors, specifically type errors, and created a pull request for it. And for the past 2 days, I finished 2 Figma tasks. And for today, I have started with task number 26, and we'll continue working on it.
Understood. Okay. Malika, how's that ISO country data coming? Do you have that ready for Maxim yet?
Hi, Gary. As you listen, I need to talk to you one-on-one regarding that.
Okay. And Maxim, how's it coming with the rest of the website and everything?
Yeah, I continue working on responsiveness. We'll be figuring out the UI because I've already completed the frames that are there. And
Yep. The only thing I could say to add to what we'll add to the website is you and I will go over some global laws to follow. So whenever text shows up in the header, this is what the padding should look like. Whenever a button like this is clicked, this is what it should look like. Just little stuff like that, so that we have an overall theme that's automated essentially just by all these global variables. So we don't have to think about it, and we know that everything is always, the padding is perfect everywhere. And because we have to work on padding, we have to work on in some cases we have to work on letter spacing, then we have to work on line spacing between text, because all the text, we want to use our font, but to use it we do have to actually manipulate the font to make it work together and play nicely.
Yep.
So we'll do that when we're back in the office. And I said this earlier, but I'll be back in the office Sunday. Yeah, Sunday should be back in the office.
Mhm. Will somebody be in office today? No.
No, we were gonna have a visitor today, but I'm just gonna take that meeting online instead.
Okay.
And he did have a key for you, but somebody else lost it a long time ago.
Okay, I'm already in the office. If I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, you already have a key. My bad.
Yeah.
He's got a key. I don't know what, the office is a little too gracious with their keys. They don't even know I lost. Well, Vardon lost one, and Vardon did happen to send a rag, though. Talk about,
A what?
someone who hasn't been in the mix for a while.
Okay.
Rag, a retrieval augmented generation system. So the whole point of this is for us to have the whole thing I said is like, sure, you want to make an LLM because he loves LLMs and stuff. And like, make something that's able to look at all of our company files and understand what the heck a Turning computer actually is and how ours operates, so that we can actually talk to it. Because right now, if we talk to ChatGPT, we could tell it everything about exactly how it works, and it would just spit out nonsense. And you're like, dude, I just told you like how this works, and it just completely spits out nonsense because it has nothing to compare it to, or it has too much legacy information to compare it to. So this would be nice because it would be an empty brain that we just talk about. We tell it all the rules of how our ternary architecture works, and then we would actually be able to speak with it and train with it. And who knows, this could also serve as maybe a first generation of the LLM that we use for Arch as well. So Ashutosh, I wanted you to take a short look at this and see if you think it's something that is useful, possibly. It's all Python though. That's the weird thing. But yeah, so Vardon came out of the woodworks for a second this week as a Christmas miracle. But all right, fellas, let's break out into our side chats. I feel that's good for Scrum. Thanks for coming, everybody. It feels like we're gonna get back to normal Scrum here.